Hey Harmonizers, here's a cool summary of what's been going on with Mr. King. I thought I pulled together a couple clips from our latest sessions. You can see little Elon's waiting at the gate there too. My horses have been super eager to come out and play, which has been super awesome. Here's little King. I thought I'd show you how I've been able to bring them in completely at Liberty, which is super cool and pretty fun to do. It's kind of neat that the paddock is literally right beside the sand ring, so it makes it safe to do this as well. I don't have to worry about anybody getting out on the road or getting loose around other people with their horses or anything like that, which is kind of fun. And he's been progressing, and he's been doing really well considering I'll kind of work with him for a couple sessions and then he'll get a week off because we go away to a resort as a family, or I was off last week because we all had COVID, which I'm totally fine. By the way, we was barely a sore throat and sniffles for me and just fever for a couple days for my kids, and I think my dad had a fever for like a couple hours in the evening, so it was really nothing for us, nothing more than kind of a regular cold or flu, and yeah, we're totally okay. So here's bringing little King out, and he comes in, and you can see he turns around and say, okay, what are we gonna play with today? So I just love that his personality has completely opened up to me, and he's just become really eager to try to figure out what it is that we're gonna do, and he's really eager to please me, which is fantastic. So here's a little look at a different clip of just brushing him and saddling up and showing you where he's kind of at that way. So here's some grooming him. He's trying to groom me there, silly boy, and doing a little bit of brushing. And I do everything completely at Liberty, no tools for restraint of any kind. There's no neck rope, no whips, no lead rope, no halter. The only time I use a halter and rope on him is if I'm going to bring him out for him to get his dinner, or if he's going to come out and get wound care or getting his feet trimmed, something like that. But for our training sessions related to like restarting him off the track, nothing whatsoever. And at this point, this particular session, I think was session 10, and we've now done 12 sessions together, and always kind of on and off because of me going back to Canada and the resort and everything else that's going on. So it's been, we always have to do kind of like little reset parts. And here's a really cool part. You can see when I grabbed the bareback pad, he started to walk away a little bit. And that's one of the neat things about this process, is you get to see what's the horse really telling you, and you really have to balance how much you push them, because remember, to build a horse's confidence, you do need to stretch them out of their thresholds a little bit and kind of encourage them and push them just a little bit, but not so much that you cause them to run away. And this is a great environment to kind of test that out, doing the Liberty no tools restart, because he could walk away and show me that he was upset. And then the challenge becomes on my end, how can we build confidence with this bareback pad that we can do it together and not cause you to completely leave me? So that's kind of the fun part. Here's a little clip too of going to get on at the mounting blocks. I used the pole to help keep him straight. And then I came up and was going to give him the cookie over the back. And he says, oh, that's a little overwhelming. I'm not ready yet. So he walked forward and walked off. And then, we practice. And then he gets to this point where he's like, yep, okay, got it. I'm going to bend and get my cookie over there, progressing to the leg over the back, and just really making sure that my horse is completely okay with each step along the way, so we can develop some relaxation. And you can see when I got on him at first, he kind of brought his head up and was a little bit unsure, but then he's coming back to get his little cookies there. So the only tool I'm using is that positive reinforcement, so using food, and not using it as a bribe, but using it as a reward. And if you're not sure how to use rewards without creating a total cookie monster, definitely check out the Create a Yes Horse mini course. If you go to harmonyhorsemanshipacademy.com, you can check out all the mini courses and all the other courses there. It's always best to start with the free mini course, because then it unlocks discounts, some pretty hefty discounts too, to the next courses that are recommended to start with. Here's another cool clip This was our most latest session. So this was session 12 that we just did. So this was after me being away for a week, being on COVID quarantine. And he sees me getting everything ready and comes right over to the gate, is really eager to come over. In fact, all my horses came over. So I gave them all a cookie because that's something valuable to me. So I just give them one cookie, and then it's King's turn to come out. So I asked the other two guys, Elon and Alicia, to wait. They're wearing rain sheets because we've had some cold rain recently. I'll be taking those off later. And then he comes out and comes around and follows. You'll see I use my hand as a target to kind of show him where to follow and where to stick to. And he's doing really, really well. So there's actually no treat in my hand that I'm using to get him to follow. It's literally just a target that he follows. My hand's completely open and no cookie there. He's not following the cookie, which is the difference between a bribe and using a reward, or part of the difference, I should say. There's lots of other little things to learn about giving positive reinforcement for sure. And then progressing to here's bringing him through to the mounting block, and you can just see the confidence that he's gained. And even though I'd been away for a week, just how at ease he is kind of getting back into things. You can see me getting on there. He's getting his little cookie there. And he kind of bumped his leg on the pedestal too, and he was okay with that. And you see his posture really relaxed and standing really nicely, really soft ears, listening to me, lots of blinking and chewing and licking. He's very, very present. And so it's been a really cool experience watching him grow, because he's gone from being really kind of jumpy and flighty and to now this horse that still will walk away and let me know. He's confident letting me know when he's not ready for something, but not in a really mean, dangerous, or scary way. And so we have this partnership where we're really beginning to grow. So I'm really excited. I'm doing this voiceover in the morning, and I'm going to be heading out to go see him again this afternoon. And I'm really excited because this particular session, we made some pretty big breakthroughs. I've been on his back before, and we've done a tiny little bit of riding, but this was the first long ride, I would say. I was on him for quite a while, and we were able to start some steering a little bit. We were doing a little bit of steering, a little bit of going around different patches of grass that were around the arena together, and doing quite a few fun things. And all of these videos are being posted in full on the Harmony Horsemanship Academy.com site in the OTTB Liberty Restart. Now I also sped up some of the sessions too, and kind of gave a summary so you could see all the footage but not have to watch it so slowly as well. So here's a little look at me steering him. You can see I'm using my hand there to help guide him over. So I've trained him a little bit with leg cues and hand cues. So we're steering and walking around there. And then here I'm going to ask him to do a stop. So I kind of lean forward a little bit and give him the cue to stop. Going to offer him a treat there to get his attention there. He was kind of looking off in the distance for his cookies. I switched sides there. So we actually started, riding and doing transitions and doing a little bit of steering. Here's another little look here from a halt transition that we did. And I always have to remember to pause with him. He's a horse that really makes me have to slow down and stop, because he really values and does well with getting those moments to pause and stop. So here he was attempting to go back to the gate. He's like, "Oh, are we done?" And I just steer him away with my hand and say, "Oh, no, not yet. We're going this way." So just showing a little bit of that steering. So here I'm going to turn him around the corner and then come into another stop. So I hope you guys find this interesting. It's definitely been a lot of fun, and I look forward to continuing to go with him.